Okay, so when I say the words traditional music, what pops into your head? Is it something, I don't know, kind of dusty? Something ancient, maybe preserved under glass in a museum? Well, today, we're going to flip that idea on its head. We're heading to Australia to explore something way more alive.
Right? We're so often taught to think of it as this fixed thing, like a perfect photograph of a time that's long gone, just a faithful copy of whatever came before.
But what if that's not the whole story? What if tradition isn't some monument we just look back at, but it's more like a river that we're all swimming in right now? That is the incredible idea we're going to dive into. To really get this, our journey starts in Arnhem Land with the Wegilak people. See, here, the connection between the music, the people, and the actual place is so deep, it makes you question where a song even comes from in the first place. And this is the absolute key to understanding everything. The landscape itself, it's not just scenery. It's seen as a kind of sacred book, one that's written with the stories, the laws, and the very identity of the people. The land isn't just inspiration for the songs. In a very real way, it is the song. And listen to this quote. It just says it all, doesn't it? Wegilak songman Daniel Wilfred isn't being poetic here. He's describing a reality where the songs, the manake, they literally bubble up from the country. They are the voice of the land itself. Okay, so if the songs are literally coming out of the ground, how do they stay relevant? How do they live? Well, it all comes down to this core idea that tradition is one big ongoing conversation. These manake, they're not just some old script you read off a page. Nope. Every single performance is a new interaction, a fresh way of speaking an ancient truth. It's all about bringing that past right into the present, creatively and with purpose. So think about it like this. If the land is the text, then singing manake is the act of reading that text out loud for everyone to hear. It's how those foundational stories are kept alive, how they're understood, and how they're passed on. Every performance makes that text breathe again. So how does this actually work? It's fascinating. Manake has what are called naraka, which translates to bones. That's the essential, unchanging structure of the song. But wrapped around that skeleton is all this room for freedom, for the singer's own personality and improvisation to shine through. It's this incredible balance, this conversation between the ancient bones and the living voice that keeps the whole thing alive and thriving. Okay, now let's jump over to the Tiwi Islands for a second, because here we find another amazing example of this. Here, songs act as a living, breathing oral history of the entire community. I mean, just look at this. For over 200 years, Tiwi song has basically been a living newspaper. From the very first British forts, to the arrival of Japanese pearlers, to World War II army bases, and even to major cyclones in recent years. These huge events aren't just remembered, they are composed into songs and they become a part of the official public record. Yeah, before any written records, this was it. Songs were like the town's public notice board, the history book, and the law book, all rolled into one. It was how crucial community information, births, deaths, news, you name it, was shared, confirmed, and remembered by absolutely everyone. But a living tradition like this faces modern challenges, like language loss. The hard language of Old Tiwi is really complex, and fewer people know it. So what do? Do they let it die? No way. They adapt. Younger composers use modern Tiwi. They keep the practice of creating new songs about their lives going, just in a language that everyone can understand and share. It keeps the conversation alive. And this amazing adaptability, it doesn't just stop with the language. It flows right into the music itself. And that has led to some of the most exciting musical collaborations you'll find anywhere on the planet right now. Check this out. On one hand, you have the Wegilak songmen teaming up with the Australian Art Orchestra for a project called Crossing Roper Bar. They're literally building a bridge between ancient Manikai and modern classical music. And then you have Nukuruwala, where the Tiwi Strong Women are working with jazz musicians to create brand new arrangements of their songs, keeping them fresh and vital for a new generation. It's incredible. So how on earth do you make something like that work? Well, it starts with one thing: listening. Paul Grabowski from the Australian Art Orchestra just nails it here. This isn't about one group taking from another. It's about a deep, respectful dialogue. It's this humble act of just putting your own ego aside to really truly hear what another tradition has to say. And this is the beautiful result. This quote from Auntie Clementine of the Tiwi Strong Women's Group just perfectly captures that deep connection that gets forged. It stops being us and them. It becomes a new we, something created right there, in the music. That is the conversation in action. So where does all of this leave us? From the soil of Arnhem Land to jazz clubs in Darwin, what we're seeing is that these traditions aren't relics. Not at all. They are alive, they are breathing, and they are always, always in motion. And there's a perfect metaphor for all of this that comes from Yolngu culture itself. The concept is called galari. It describes the endless, continuous flow of water, from the rain to the stream to the river to the sea. It's a great current that connects everything. And for the Yolngu people, tradition is just like this river. It flows out of the past, carrying all that ancestral knowledge, but it moves right through the present, being shaped and changed by every single person who steps into it.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Heritage isn't some dead thing we have to protect behind glass. It's something alive that we get to participate in. It's a current that we have the honor of carrying forward, of adding our own little drop of water to this great flowing river of time. So that leaves us with one last thought. Forget the museum for a second and just look around you. What traditions in your own life are part of that living river? And maybe more importantly, how are they having a conversation with the world right here and right now?